Did you go to school?
Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks. I mean, I've got several, 2 or 3 honorary doctorate degrees. Just got a wonderful award from Morehouse 2 nights ago with Pharrell and some others. Given several commencements. Nobody ever really asked me that question, but most everybody works for me as a college degree. I had a GED degree out of high school, which Chris Rock calls a good enough diploma. I was always focusing on business and entrepreneurship, and I started my first business when I was 10 years old. So I left high school, voluntarily took the test when I was in the 11th grade in LA, because I was I wanted to go out and run businesses. I thought that I was smarter than my teachers in the area that I was really focused on. And I went to community college for a couple years, San Diego Community College, and I have certificate degrees from Harvard and all that stuff. But traditional education was something that I decided to bypass for real education. That said, everybody watching this has got to get a college degree. Like you got to consume as much education as you can shove down your throat, because this is a knowledge economy. And once again, artificial intelligence is going to literally change everything.
So, just so, and let me preface this way. I owe a service to the people who's watching, but I also owe a service to myself because I'm extremely curious. You did not go to college to get a degree.
I went to college to get an education, which I did. And then once I had enough education, I left to go get life education.
Right.
I mean, if you look at my office, it's filled with books. I was reading a book this morning before I came here. I was reading a book last night. I was listening to an audiobook on the way here.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to an audiobook when I leave here. Like you, I'm nosy as hell.
Yeah.
I asked Quincy Jones once, how'd you get so smart? He said, I'm just nosy as hell. I want to know everything about everything. So for most of us, the problem is what we don't know that's killing us, but we think we know.
Yeah.
It's what we don't know that we don't know, but we think we know. There's an old Southern saying, no matter how much I love you, my son or my daughter, if I don't have wisdom, all I can give you is my own ignorance. Mm. So out of love, we pass down bad habits from generation to generation. Out of love, because it's what we don't know that we don't know, but we think we know. For instance, I want to get this bag, I want to make this dollar, make this dollar, I want to get this cash, useless. But that's exactly what we obsess on. Yeah. I don't pay any attention to that whatsoever. I'm trying to build wealth, and you build wealth in your sleep. That's why they call it making a living. Making a living, not building a life. You can make a living at $2 an hour, or $10 an hour, or $20 an hour, or $10 million a year in your case. Yeah. But when the income stops, if your outflow exceeds your if your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your overhead will be your downfall. I don't care who you are. Billionaires can go broke.
Yeah.
So my mission was, my ultimate education was to understand this system. Yeah. So let me answer your real question. Like, how did I get on this? How did I get focused on this and I guess become good at it? Which I think is really your question of where did this come from?
Yeah.
So after seeing my mom and dad divorce when I was 4 or 5, we can go into that if you like. I have no problem talking about it. Mom left. We owned a gas station, 8-unit apartment building, which they bought for $18,000, worth $7 million a day. They lost it. They owned a gas station, owned their own home, lost it all. My mother could have taken my dad to the cleaners, California, community property state. She bounced, just with her kids. Went to go stay with her girlfriend, told me it was my auntie, so I'd be comfortable. And the guy who was taking care of us didn't want to admit that he couldn't afford to take care of us, so he went around the corner to sell marijuana part-time. Well, the real drug dealers around the corner didn't like that, followed him home, and hit him with a truck on his bicycle as he was coming home, right in front of me, and drug him till he was dead, in front of me. I was 6, 7 years old. He had saved my life. I was sitting on his porch and had fallen backwards and hit my head and was swallowing my throat. And this guy saved my life. He was my hero. He was the boyfriend of the lady who was my mother's friend who let us stay with us. So that was the second concept of money. The first one was a divorce. That was about money. Second one was this murder about the drug dealer. That was about murder, to protect their turf. Man, you don't own that block. The city owns a block. So it's a ridiculous conversation. Yeah. Murdered a brilliant black man for that. Then we leave there. My mom owns a buys a house, our first house, 15502 South Fraley in Compton, California. It's interesting when you own a house, you remember the address.
Everywhere.
So she buys this house, and I make friends with this guy named George, who was an A student, but he had bad parents. And I wanted to be like George, Cam, but George wanted to be like Tweet, who was a little drug dealer who lived next to me. And he and George and Tweet got murdered together. They talked together, walked together, slang together, hung out together, and got murdered together. So that was 9 years old. That was about money.